Good evening, Chairman Meeks and members of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. I'm Jeff Seymour, acting as majority staff. Looking forward to providing a briefing on an upcoming congressional delegation visit to the Republic of Guatemala, hosted by the U.S. Embassy team. I wanted to provide a basic overview of information about the country, information about the current administration, policies and priorities, areas of potential continued enhancements around our relationship with the nation, and ongoing challenges that we faced. To start the conversation, wanted to provide a little bit of an overview of Guatemala. Country capital is Guatemala City, where our U.S. Embassy is located. From a regional perspective, about 17 million people currently live in the nation, with one of the youngest populations in Central America. From a geographic perspective, Guatemala serves as really a significant through point for commerce and trade to and from South America, which also plays into its role as a thoroughfare for illegal drugs, human trafficking, and cash back and forth, particularly to South America. When we talk about the economy of Guatemala, first we have to recognize that the economy has really come a long ways from some of the conflict it faced from the 1960s through the 1990s. In 1996, the country emerged from 36 years of conflict, which had really limited foreign direct investment into the nation, and that has obviously changed dramatically over the years. Currently, the country really focuses on exporting primarily agricultural goods and manufactured goods, including textiles, iron products, plastics, and others. Primary export partners include the United States and regional partners, and import partners include the United States, China, and others. When we think about the government structure of Guatemala, like many South American and Central American countries, has struggled over the years to sort of retain consistency, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. The current administration is headed by President Alejandro Giammattei, who was elected in 2020, represents a presidential republic seat that is both the head of government and the head of state, and is partnered with a unicameral legislature with 160 seats. The country adopted its current constitution in 1985 after breaking with Spain from an independence perspective in the 1800s. Administration priorities are really to continue to open up the country for business-led investment, internal and external investment, and expanding trade relationships within the region, including with Mexico. I mentioned, in 1996, the country emerged from civil war, and it's really done a good job of stabilizing itself, improving credit rating, and improving opportunities for growth. Unfortunately for President Giammattei, he has faced some struggles around corruption, some other scandals, and the rollout of vaccines in COVID. Popularity actually dropped to a low rating of 20%. In 2021, but has retained his seat. When we look at the in-country establishment, we have really strong leadership from Ambassador William Pop and Daniel Fennell, our administrative team in the country, with U.S. priorities centering really around continuing to dismantle transnational trade, transnational criminal activity and trade, gangs, and increasing local security. Also, we want to continue to fight corruption, increase openness of the country, and hamper irregular migration, which in the opinion of this team really centers a lot around economic development or lack of economic development, creating lack of economic opportunities. We also want to continue to create opportunities for safe investment by U.S. firms. When we think about these ongoing diplomatic relationships, maybe the centerpiece of current relationships was a diplomatic visit by Vice President Kamala Harris where she highlighted an opportunity to enhance partnerships between the Department of Justice and Department of State to support anti-corruption campaigns and anti-smuggling campaigns in the country in partnership with government leadership. As mentioned previously, the country has struggled with bribery and corruption, particularly among elected leadership in the past several presidential administrations, ongoing human trafficking and drug trafficking, based partially on its geographic relevance as a throughput to South America, and obviously a lack of economic opportunities in the country, and economic disparity have led to some of the outmigration that we continue to want to stymie. When we think about policy recommendations that would continue to support a strong U.S. Guatemala relationship, sort of the center of the conversation is around lack of economic opportunity, which has created a situation where individuals are forced to make other decisions, either to move into other areas of illicit trade or to leave the country altogether. So one of the recommendations is to continue to expand USAID programming to not only support the small and micro business enhancement, but additionally workforce development programming to run alongside other programming. Also, in conjunction with our anti-corruption and anti-trafficking task forces, expanding the FBI and DEA's presence in the region to not just support localized training and best practices, but also more of a boots on the ground presence to run alongside local government, which has done a really good job of enhancing its ability to fight corruption internal to the government. One of the long-term goals may be an opening up of conversations around a mutual legal assistance treaty similar to the U.S.-Mexico treaty signed in 1991, which would expand on the current extradition policy that we have in place to think more broadly about legal partnerships. Really, again, when we think about Guatemala, where it's come from and where it's going, continue to enhance economic stability in the country as a means of stymieing illegal trade, but also providing economic mobility for its residents is really a centerpiece of policy recommendations moving forward. Happy to answer any questions and look forward to a successful congressional delegation visit. Thank you.